everybody, it is Liz with Liz Art Finds. We're here today with another haul video, and this is a really fun one. It's amazing what I'm finding out there. I went to a community yard sale in a nearby town, and then obviously went to a bunch of thrift stores. Yard sales are proving to be pretty awesome these days. Now, this community yard sale was one that had like a map of all the houses that were participating, so it was incredibly well run. And I got most of my things at one house. I got a couple things here and there, but then I ended up circling back to that first house and spending more time digging there. Got some really good deals and some really beautiful things, and I can't wait to share. Before we do, we're going to talk about what sold, because oh my gosh, you guys, it was a week. It was a good week. So first thing that sold. Do you remember this bowl that I picked up in Rhode Island? I picked it up and I was so excited that I got it for $15. It's from Italy. It's Berit Johansson. It's a beautiful, just a beautiful Italian bowl. I had it priced really high, and I've been dropping the price. And someone made an offer that was really low, but I decided I wanted to move it along. So I made a profit on it. I bought it for 15. It sold for 55. So that buyer got an amazing deal, because I think it's worth at least double that. And I moved it along to a new home and made a profit on it. So anyway, I spent 15, sold for 55. My total profit was only $28.11. I did double box it for shipping and ended up eating a teeny bit on the shipping. It's fine. It's $28 and it's moving on to a new house. The other amazing thing, you guys might have seen my short, and I did mention this last week. This guy, he sold in 6 hours. Okay. So I bought him for $4. I sold him for $349. Mind blowing. My profit on that, because eBay fees were really high for some reason, my profit was $289.45. Fun story with that. I thought, based on sold and the color, that it was worth about $265. I ran it by an expert, a Blanco expert, and she said, don't list it for a penny less than $350. It's worth $350. So of course I listed it at $349, and I got an offer within a couple hours for $265. I got another offer almost immediately for $300, and I was going to say yes. And I asked the expert, I was messaging her on Facebook, and I was like, okay, so I got this offer for $300. She's like, just wait, you'll get your full price. And so since you have 24 hours to accept an offer on eBay, I'm like, okay, well, I can wait till tomorrow. It's all good. Within 6 hours, it was sold. So it was probably another couple hours from that point. So I'm so excited. And the person it went to has a collection of these colored guppies and sent me a photo of like all the different colors lined up on a bookshelf. It was mind blowing. So it went to the right place. And I'm just so happy for everybody, and I'm just so excited that I found that. So that was just super fun. And I know you've heard me talk so much about that, but it was the find of the year, I think, for me this year so far. So really exciting. The other thing that sold, well, the other thing that happened was I had a couple of sales on Niknax yesterday. And one of them was the itty bitty train. Now, I did not print out the photo of all the things that sold. I sold 23 things on the itty bitty train. And then we had our Spooky Speedy Saturday train, and I sold another 3 things there. My total sales, actually my total profit, because my sales were pretty high, but when I took out cost of goods and the shipping and all the things, my total profit on that sale was, or on those sales, was $159.16. So my total profit for the week, okay, not sales, but profit, was $470.72. So it was a good week, really good week. So yay. Hopefully we have a few more like that this year. And let's move on to the finds because it was good. Okay, so first thing I found, this was at a thrift store before the yard sale, so a day or so before. I found this beautiful Russian Zhafvo, I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, tray. And it's in impeccable condition. Usually when I find these, there's like knife marks on them and stuff and scratches. And this one is perfect. Like, it's perfect. And it's beautiful. And they sell really well. And I got it for $3.99. Solds on this are all over the place, as low as 25, as high as 75. So yeah, I mean, I'll probably list it a little like in between that, maybe 49 or so, and see what happens. Maybe even a little higher to start. So this is the back. It's got a remnants of our price sticker on it, but otherwise, I just thought it was amazing. So for $3.99, that was the only thing I picked up in that thrift store that day. Then the yard sale. So the first thing that I was so excited about, I got this jewelry box. It's a wooden jewelry box. It's maple. And each of the drawers, they're magnetic. And each of the drawers, it has a little inset. So it has space below it. And then this thing that you can put in. Then it's got the ring tray in the center. And basically the business card of the artisan, the maker, it's called naturalrenaissance.com. They make those magnet key holders. I've found a couple of those along the way. And it tells you what kind of wood it is, and it's called spalted maple. That's the one with all the design on it. And then the red oak is the plain color. So, and then it's got the other end one, which is like the first end one that I showed you. So it sits on a table this way, or dresser, I should say. And it's got little magnets that kind of clip the end, whoops, that goes here. And that one goes here. So just really, really, really beautiful. I got it for $20. The sales on these are all over the place. I haven't found this exact one because they didn't make, they didn't make reproduction, like everything was different. That's what I'm trying to say. And I don't see a lot of their stuff being resold because it was sold in galleries. Like I remember seeing these in galleries when I was younger. And that's how they sold their stuff. They sold to high-end artisan galleries. So everything is over 100. I don't know specifically what this would sell for. A simple version sold for 129. There are things selling as high as the 300s, 350, whatever. Condition of this is perfect. Like I'm not even sure it was used. So, I don't know yet, but we'll put it up and see. We'll see what happens with that. But definitely a great buy for $20. Then the second thing, she had a bunch of jewelry. And there was a guy there that was like looking for jewelry and he left. And I found this. So I'm shocked. But anyway, this is a sterling cuff. It was in a baggie. It's got a ring in here too. The cuff is actually marked. It says BB, and it says Nakai, and then it says sterling. It says BB sterling Nakai in there, right in there. Navajo jewelry. They were a Navajo jewelry family. Just absolutely gorgeous piece. So she threw this in. It was marked 15 for the pair. She threw it in for 10. So I basically got the jewelry box and this amazing set for $30, people. It's crazy. It's crazy. Now this is not marked. The only marking on it is the size, which is a 7. But look at the stones on that. I mean, just beautiful. I don't know that they were bought at the same time, but they're definitely similar style. I've got this thing listed. I've got a show today, later today, 6:30 p.m. on Niknax, that is the Indigenous Peoples Train. And I'm starting this at 85. I might drop it to 65 to get some bids on it because again, $5. I got 10 into this, so I've got $5 in this, $5 in this. I may start it low and let someone get a great deal. I think it's probably worth over $100. but we'll see what happens. And I'd be surprised if it doesn't sell today, but if it doesn't, it will go over on eBay. This guy, same, you know, at least 65 as far as value. I think I'm probably starting it at 35. Again, I've got $5 into it. Someone will get an amazing deal because I know these could sell in the hundreds, like they could sell high. But just, you know, happy to move them along and get some money. So anyway, that's that. And $30 for those 3 things at a yard sale was super exciting to me. Then I found the same lady's house when I went back the second time. She had put out more things. And this is a little koala paperweight, and it's got the signature and the sticker. The sticker's here. And this is Mats Jonasson from Sweden. We've talked about him quite a bit, but this is one of the ones that, you know, it's etched out in the back. And this is the front displaying the beautiful piece. So I got that for $5. I'll call it 12 to 25. I mean, the clear ones, they don't sell super, super high. And that'll probably run in a glass sale that I'll do sometime in November. So we're going to hold that for a little bit. I found this pottery crock, and this was $1. So it's obviously worth more than $1. And it's beautiful. It's got a marking on it, but it seems to have been kind of worn off. So it's really hard to see that there's anything down there at all. It's stoneware. It's in excellent condition. And there's one listed at 55. I could probably get 24 to 35 for this. And again, I paid $1. So that was exciting. And then the inlay piece. So this is still the same lady's house. All right. So this is a wooden inlay piece. Now there unfortunately is a little damage that I didn't notice until I got home. On the plus side, it was $2 and it included the stand that she used. Okay. So that alone is a couple bucks, but, you know, it's all good. Oh, actually, you know what? It was $1. Thought I paid $2, but maybe it was just $1. Okay, well, that's even better. What I love about this, it was made in Italy. Now, I've signed up for an Italy train November 1st, so this will be there. It does have a little bit of a ding to the lacquer here, like the lacquer is lifting up from the base, so that is what I would consider to be a little bit of damage, but they're super cool. And these guys sell right at 48. Like all of the ones that have sold are like $47.99, $48.99, like right around that sweet spot. That doesn't include a stand, but it also doesn't include a broken corner. So I'd probably start it at 18 and hope to get around 24 for it. So anyway, I'm excited about that. So that was super fun. And then the last thing I think I got from her is this pair of bookends. They're stained glass tool bookends. Okay, really cool. So I don't see these exact ones online, but it seems like the same maker. So this is the information. It says handcrafted in the USA by Captured in Glass. Okay, so it's got that sticker on there. I need to do a little bit more research into Captured on Glass. I did not do that, but I did a little bit of research into the bookends that have the stained glass. Like it looks like they're made by the same people. Let's see, I paid $5 for the set, and the prices are all over the place. So 12 to 108 and everything in between. 28 to 42 seems to be the sweet spot, but there is that set that sold for 108. So not really sure. Condition is excellent. None of the glass is broken on these. It's got some fun detail, like it's got those nails in there under the hammer. It's just really fun. So I was happy about that for $5. And then I got, and I don't have them here because I sold them yesterday and they're already in a box. I got a set of nesting Santas for $1, and this was at a different lady's sale. And they're just so cute. So I got them for $1. They sold yesterday for $10. So I can tell you for sure what the sold price is on those. So that was exciting. And that was part of the number I gave you guys earlier. The last thing I got there is this very interesting piece. It's still new. The woman said it had never been used. I don't remember if I paid $5 or $8. I think I paid $8 for it, which is probably a little on the high side. The company is called Cara Wood Designs, and it's John and Rebecca Cara, and it's got a rubber band on it. So it's actually two separate pieces, right? So they say that it is a trivet, but it's an expanding trivet. So if you have like a big casserole dish or whatever, you can make it bigger. It also can do something like this to make some sort of a rack. So I've got to do a little more research to figure that out as to how that works. But it is in there pretty solid when you put it this way. So it would actually stand as a rack that way. So anyway, very fun piece of wood. I think I paid $8. The value on this, they sell for $47 new. So they're still selling these. This is not vintage. This is something that's still out there now. And they're selling around $47 new. So I would think, since this is new, anywhere between whatever half of that is, 24. So 24 to 28, I would think on that. So yeah, that was cool. So that was what I found at that yard sale. Really fun morning. I got out really early because it was starting pretty early, and it was really fun. So then on the way home, I stopped at Unique, and I found some fun things there too. So the first thing I found is this amazing Mexico pottery dish. It's got a ruffled edge. It's got the little hole in the back that you can put something through to hang. It says Casa Jacques, I believe. Jacques. Anyway, this is Mexican pottery. And I have my sale today for the Indigenous Peoples Train, so this will be there. And they don't sell as high as I would have thought. So I paid $7.99 for it. The sold are in the 18 to 24 range. There's a few listed in the 45 range and one that sold in the 30s, but most of them are on the lower end there. So that was, I was surprised by that because the quality is impeccable. I found this glass pitcher. I always pick them up when I find them. They're only worth 8 to 12. I've told you that a million times. This is a bigger one, but I've got a bunch of smaller ones that I'm going to do in a show at some point. And so I picked this up. So I paid $1.59 for it. And I actually put down, rather than 8 to 12, I put down 12 to 18 for this larger size because I did see some that were in the 15, 16 range. I might have even seen one at 17 or 18. But for me, 12, I think this size 12 to 15 is probably reasonable. Okay, and then I found a paperweight. Now it's a Chinese weight, very clearly a Chinese paperweight with a big bubble in the center and the firework thingy going on. The thing is, I picked it up because it was super clear. There's no bumps, no bruises, no dings, no scratches, no nothing. Like, it's in really good condition. So those typically sell 8 to 15 for me, sometimes a little higher depending on if there's a bidding war. And I did pay up. I paid $4.79. A lot of the thrift stores are pricing up their paperweights. And a lot of the Chinese weights are not worth that much money. But I like to have volume when I'm having paperweight sale. I like to have a lot of weight, so I like to have something for every price range. So I did pick that up because I know even at $4.79, I know I can get double that or more. So I did pick that up. Okay, then something that was new to me, I picked up this Flow Blue. Okay, so it is ironstone and it's Victoria ware and it is made in England. So Flow Blue is this kind of blurry blue finish. And I actually wrote some stuff on it, or let me grab that. So it's got a fish in the bottom. So this was used as like a Jello mold, right? Or, I mean, they say butter mold, but this is way too big for a butter mold, in my opinion. So it would be like a Jello mold or like a mousse or a pate or something like that. And you would mold it, and that's what this is. So the ironstone fish mold, I'm going to just read a little bit. It says an ironstone flow blue fish mold is a decorative or functional kitchen mold, often used for making jelly or butter. Maybe jelly, more like a Jello, I really think, like a Jello mold. It's made of heavy ironstone ceramic and decorated with a flow blue design, typically featuring a fish mold on the inside, there you go, and a countryside scene on the outside. Okay, these molds are often associated with the brand Victoria Ware and are a collectible vintage item, sometimes described as either antique or contemporary reproduction. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. The flow blue style is typical of transferware where the ink blurs into the glaze during firing, creating a soft, dreamy effect. So that's what's going on here. The interesting thing to me is I thought this would be worth a lot more than it is, right? So listeds are high, solds are not so high. And actually there are not a lot of solds on this particular version. There are a few, there's probably like 6 or 7 listed right now, with none of this exact one sold. There was one sold a couple of years ago on WorthPoint. The solds on these are in the 25 to 43 range. There was one that sold for $43.20 a few years ago. So I'm not really sure. The sell-through is pretty low. I think it's a fun little thing. So I'm not sure how long it's going to take to actually sell this. And I paid up. I paid $7.99. And we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. Hopefully we can get at least double that out of it. And it was a fun learning lesson for me, because I knew nothing about ironstone and Victoria Ware. So that was fun. And then I picked up a Tamala vase. I pick these up whenever I can. They don't sell for a ton, but I knew I had my my sale today. So, and this is a really nice one. It's in really great condition. It is marked Mexico on the bottom. Just really pretty. I paid $3.59. It's worth $8 to $12. Okay, not a ton on that. And then finally, I popped into a Goodwill midweek. And I found a few things. This is a fun little crock or vase. Would have had a stopper with it, a cork stopper originally. It is made in Laholm, Sweden. I paid $1.99 for it. It's a very unique pattern. If you Google Lens this, Laholm, Sweden stuff comes up, and I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. It's probably Laholm, or yeah, I'm not really sure. It's not marked, but that's what this is. I paid $1.99. The solds on these are actually 18 to 24, which is really good. So that was a fun find. I found a cast iron stag bottle opener. Now he hangs on the wall. He's got his 3 screw holes to hang on the wall, and it says open here. So back in the day when we had the Coke bottles and stuff that would have the little crimpy tab, top, you would just open it on one of these. It would be sitting near the machine. You would get your Coke, you would pop it out. I don't know if these have a ton of use now. I don't see a lot of those kind of tops. They're probably out there. I'm just, probably on beer bottles and things like that. But it has just the cuteness factor for me and fun factor, and it's cast iron. So I picked it up. It was $1.99. They sell around 8 to 12. So that was just a fun one. Couldn't really leave it. It was too cute. There was a ornament there that I picked up. This was brand new. It still has its tags. Okay. And this is Midwest of Cannon Falls, and it says Simple Joys, and it's got this strawberry jelly and honey and another jelly over here. So obviously this person liked sweet things, and it's just a holiday ornament. And they sell kind of all over the place again. I paid $1.99 for it. 12 to 15 is reasonable. There's one that sold for like $57. I don't know why. I don't know enough about this, so I probably need to research Midwestern Cannon Falls stuff a little bit more, but I have had their stuff before, and the fact that it is new with tags is good, right? So it was worth picking up for sure. I think it's worth 12 to 15. My most favorite thing I picked up, just because it's like so different. Check this out. So it is ceramic, and I was wondering what all those holes were for. This is a hat pin holder, okay? Czechoslovakia, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it to be Czech. That is what the other listings say. So fun. It is just so fun. So mushrooms are always in. Now this was hiding on a bottom shelf, kind of pushed back. I spotted it and I'm like, what is that? That is so different. So I loved it and I had to have it. And I paid 99 cents for it. So these guys, one sold for 25. That's the only sold I can find. People that have them listed are listed in the 45 plus range, but the one sold I did find sold for 25. This would be such a fun thing for a show, for a live show, if the right people are in the room, because there are a bunch of hairpin collectors out there, and that would be like the perfect thing to have to display them. So I love this. I definitely was excited to find it. And then the last thing was a baggie. I picked up a baggie of a bunch of assorted stuff for $3.99. Most of them got donated back because it was a lot of things that are just not saleable. So I put them in a baggie with some other things and donated it back to the savers, actually. But there were some things in there that were saleable. So I've got 3 of them that I kept, and I will show you them. So the thing that I think is worth the most is this little carved turtle. Now he's probably not worth a ton. I think that's not real turquoise, and I think that's not real sunstone. I think this is what's called goldstone, which is like a man-made sunstone type thing. It's a very sparkly orange stone, and I believe this to be howlite, which is a man-made turquoise. And I'm not sure what that bottom is. A lot of people say onyx, but maybe it is black onyx. Really fun though, and I paid, basically I took the $3.99 and split it across the 3 things. I'm calling this $1.99 because I think it's the most valuable of the 3 things. And I think it's probably worth 18 to 25. I would probably get less than that if I ran it at an auction, but I definitely will make a little bit of money on him. And then there was this feldspar stone heart. I'm starting to collect. I've got a bunch of things that are heart-shaped, and I'm thinking I can pull together a Valentine show if I can find enough that are heart things. So I'm going to start putting those into a box and see if we can get enough to do a show. I paid technically $1 for it, and they sell 8 to 15 on these guys. And then the last thing I found, unfortunately, and it was the reason I bought the baggie, because I couldn't see that he didn't have a tail. So he doesn't have a tail. This is, you can see the little hole where the tail would have been. This is a little mouse figurine, Mexican, painted. Let's see if he glows. Oh yeah. See, what's so fun about a lot of these painted Mexican pieces is they use the glow in the dark paint, and the orange and the green and the yellow, they're just lighting up like crazy. So that's super fun. I don't think he's worth a ton without his tail. So with the tail, these guys can go 18 to 25. I think without the tail, he's probably $4 to $6 at best, if anybody would even buy him without the tail. So I just thought he was adorable, and hopefully we can get our $1 back, plus another $1 or so on him. So my total spend for the week was $92.89. Because of some of those yard sale pieces and the value of them, my total value estimated really conservatively I think is $556. And that is taking the absolute lowest I think I'm going to get for each thing. And that is a 6X return. So it should be a really, these should be good. And some of them, like I said, are going to be sold hopefully today. And we'll report back next week on, whether or not they do. Okay, so what's coming up? Today is Sunday, October 12th. I have a live sale at 6:30 p.m. Eastern over on Niknax.net. It will be a 30-minute sale, so it'll be quick. And I've got a bunch of things preloaded in there, so the link will be in the description below. And then coming up next week, I have a show on the Saturday. I think it's the 18th. Don't quote me on that, but I think, and that show is on pink and blue things. It is a breast cancer awareness and a male breast cancer awareness train. So again, 30 minutes. I've got pink and blue things. I've started loading them in. Hopefully have everything loaded in by Wednesday. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to try to do a pop-up on the 19th because Niknax is actually donating 5% of all sales to Susan G. Komen on the 19th. So if I can, I will pull together a show. I'm just not sure timing-wise whether that's going to be possible. And then I did sign up for November 1st, so 2 weeks after that, the Italy train. I don't quite have enough stuff yet, but I will. So I'm excited about that one as well. So that's what's coming up. I hope to get some things listed over on eBay. Just with all these shows on Niknax, I'm spending a lot of time listing there. So it's just taking longer to get things up. I will put up the occasional thing and hopefully we'll find some time in the next couple weeks to get some more things up. Follow me over on Niknax.net. It will let you know when I've got shows coming up. If you follow me on eBay, I think you can tell when I've got new stuff in the store. And it's been slow dripping in there. I'm really hoping I can get more stuff up before the holidays. So anyway, that's all here. It was a good week. I'm excited about next week. I already picked up a few things yesterday that will be in next week's haul. And it's looking good. So I will see you then. Have a great week, everybody, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do all the things to help grow the channel. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week. Bye.